Talks with Papa. So with our marriage, even though that we went like from being like fiancés to being parents, how do you feel like that has helped, and how do you feel like that maybe made our relationship suffer, and how did you kind of navigate through this?
Well, for me, it was quite an adjustment because I went from 0 to 100. I went from being a student to being a fiance, a mother, a wife, in a matter of a year.
In one day.
Yeah, so it just happened very quickly for me, and it was a lot to digest. But I think it actually worked out for the better because this was my reality and I couldn't change it. I had no choice but to get with the program. Like if we got married the way we planned to be married, I would have taken my time, like practiced a little more, dulled a little more. So I think because it happened so fast, I didn't have a choice. Like I just had to cooperate and get with the program. And even cooperating was still hard, but I did it nonetheless. Because if I didn't show up for our marriage and our child, then it would be a disservice to the both of us. You know what I mean?
Right. So it's essentially you kind of like just got with the program.
Yeah. I have a question for you.
Sure.
So before you married me, I didn't like cooking. How important do you think it is for a woman to be domesticated to be married?
Cooking or domesticated?
Both.
I think a woman should. I think willingness is a lot of things to me. And you can correct me if I'm wrong or saying or lying. But I think willingness is very important. I think like for instance, when I would come here on holiday to stay with you, and the fact that you weren't even willing to like accommodate me in that sense, like having us buy food or just that. Like I'm thinking more practical. Like if we were to be married or have children, are we going to be buying fast food for our children? Or are they going to be eating out? Or like it saves more to cook, whether it's me or you. And like when you would come to Nigeria, even though I'm not physically cooking for you, I will make arrangements for you to make sure that you're okay, make sure that you're like fed and just okay. And then also with like more domestic work, like cleaning, I'm very tidy. I love order. I love like cleanliness. Like even like
you're neat.
Right. Even like with where we live, I don't. We have children, but it's not like you're not seeing toys everywhere. It's not like chaotic. So I'm always like very what's the word now? I'm very disciplined in that regard. So I think that you should find somebody that kind of like understands that about you, and if they're not like that, be willing. Because I think that you were willing to kind of like, because yes, you're also very tidy, also very like domesticated. The only thing I think that you weren't really enjoying was cooking, and that's because of like I think also your upbringing. You were kind of like forced to do it. It wasn't something that you enjoyed. It wasn't something like it was like Sunday cooking with mom or like that type of thing. It was something. It was more of a chore.
Like come stand and watch.
Right. So you kind of like hesitated. So for you, me asking you, I guess kind of like triggers.
That trauma.
Right. Like and I guess you just kind of understood that it was something that was necessary. Because. But I never demanded. Did I demand that you have to?
Yes, you did.
I did.
You did. You gave me an ultimatum. But I have another question. How?
But yeah, sorry. Okay. But do you feel like that ultimatum kind of like?
Let me know how serious you were.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because so essentially it's for the greater good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I mean, the minute we start making a certain amount of money, though, you know where I stand with cooking. We're getting a chef. Like, there's no questions asked about it.
So I have another question for you. Since you're remarried to me, would you say that you feel seen?
Yes.
And what does that look like to you? Like
being seen is being accepted. First of all, being understood, then being accepted. So yes, I feel 100 accepted by you. I feel like I don't need to keep secrets from you or pretend to be something that I'm not. In the beginning, I did feel like you were very judgmental towards me. And I felt like you tried to change me, but then once you understood that I am uniquely different, you then accepted me, and then I've been able to flourish in myself as a person, because knowing that there's one person that accepts me for me lets me know that, or validates to me that I'm okay just as I am.
Right.
And so for that, I would say it's taken my confidence to like 11. 11 out of 10. And when you met me, I was still very insecure about a lot of things. So yes, I do feel seen. How about you?
Yeah, I do feel seen as well. It's very important to, I guess, feel like that in marriage. And I know that when I first came here, when I first moved to America, it was very hard for me because like I wasn't financially stable or as stable as I would like. And in as much as I wasn't really bringing anything to the table, I didn't think I was what I was. I didn't think I wasn't bringing money to the table at that time, and I felt like as a man I needed to be bringing that. But you still made me feel like it was more what me just being there, me just doing the little that I was doing, seemed to you like everything, and that really helped boosted my ego.
So for you, it was about being appreciated.
You're right, right. So me just being appreciated, being acknowledged, being like I felt like you. I don't know. I just felt like you.
Supporting.
Right. I felt like you saw me. You saw all of me, and you were able to. I almost said able. You were able to. I felt really vulnerable, but then I felt like you were like
safe.
Right. I felt like you were like literally shielding me.
Like,
and,
come on.
Right.
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
and that felt really good. So yes, I do feel, and I've still till tomorrow I feel seen in this marriage. I feel like you're also too very accepting of me, and that also helps my esteem and as a man, because we kind of like always want to again act like we have it all figured out. But yes, being supported and seen and loved by a woman does a lot to your esteem. So yes.
My next question for you is, how important do you think it is for the person that you marry to have a good relationship with their family members?
I think it's very like a good relationship, or have a relationship with their family.
Okay, relationship, good relationship.
I think they should have a relationship. I think it's very important. Because.
But what if the family's toxic?
Yeah, if that's what I'm saying, good. Then if it's a good relationship, then yes, it's because the more the merrier. Like like the children want to know their grandparents or their uncles or their aunties or their nieces and nephews or whatever. Like I feel like it's very important to have like a good family structure and unit. Like I will say that your mom has been very like instrumental to our marriage. She's been
same as your mom,
right? And my mom as well. Your mom has been very helpful. Like, and I'm saying your mom because I know the impact for me. I know it's just like you're saying my mom, the impact to you. So I think it's very important that we had that. We also have friends who, but their mothers are late and or they're suffering that lack. So I think it's very important to have a healthy relationship with your family. I have a question for you then. How much would you say society affects our marriage?
Now?
Yeah. I guess now.
I think 0%. In the beginning, I cared, and I think that it was just a lot of like social conditioning in my upbringing. Like being Nigerian, you're taught to care about what people would say or how it makes your parents look. So for a while, I thought like I had to be a certain way or act a certain way because of whatever it is that my family members expected of me. But then once I got married to you and then I was no longer living next to my family members, I realized like it's not anyone's marriage but you and I. So what people say about how we decide to live our lives in our marriage is no one's business. And I really found so much peace in that. Yeah. So I would definitely say being away from family
has helped
tremendously. So now that even if they were to come close, because of this mindset that I have now, it's not going to affect.
And the structure that we kind of have.
Yeah, unless they're physically living in a house, which is also another topic.
Right. Another thing I was going to ask you is marriage hard?
I don't think marriage is hard because I'm married to my friend. Yeah. And I would rather go through hardships in life with a partner than alone.
So I guess that what makes it not hard. The fact that even if you were to be faced with anything,
yes, I have somebody that I can count on. Like even yesterday when I was in the airport and I was stuck, I had to call you and you instantly fixed the problem. Like,
right.
But if I was single, I would be like looking for friends. Sometimes friends have their own lives going on. So like just having a constant person, it really like
that rides for you.
Yeah, and that is really my friend. That's what I love the most.
Any other thing? That was my last question.
My last question is because I know a lot of women deal with this. How do you think a man needs to put his mom in her place when she starts coming to the house or interfering in marriage or even helping with raising the children? Because that's a really big thing.
I definitely feel like your family has to come first, like your wife and your children have to come first. As a man, you need to speak up for your family, you need to speak up for your wife and kind of be that voice. So for instance, if you see that your mom is kind of like overstepping or indirectly or directly taking advantage of your wife, I think you need to put your foot down. You need to let your mother know respectfully that this is my wife and this is my wife's house, and my wife's needs or my wife's demands or whatever comes first, you know, like. And this is not you being disrespectful. It's just a fact that I know so many men that didn't stand up for their wives, and it has caused so much for them. And you know, I also feel like it takes women, you know, a while to kind of get used to certain changes, like when it comes to the concept of marriage. So for instance, if their child gets married, especially their sons, even mothers that have daughters in marriages to kind of do the same thing, they just kind of like forget, or just takes them a hard time just grasping that idea that this person is now is with another person. And when I say I don't want you to feel like ownership. You know, but yes, I feel like men should speak up for their wives, make sure that their mothers don't take advantage of their women. And also I think it shows strength, because I think as a woman you kind of feel like secured, you feel like your husband, I guess, got you, you know, and I think it's a good feeling to know that there's somebody who's looking out for you, you know, because you married me, so it'll be unfair to marry me and then I don't then like
stand up for
right. So I think men should speak up and stand up for their women. Don't let anybody, your mother or father or anyone or sister, you know, tell you. I feel like even like there's certain things that only I should tell her. You know, like whatever the issue it is you have with her, or you know, I will tell her. You know, just tell me. You know, and another thing is also like, even like when your wife does something, even if like if there's people there, make sure that okay, you understand, make sure that you know, let them know that okay, yes, this is your position, but then behind closed doors you can tell your wife, baby, you fucked up. You know, but never like rat her out in front of people.
Like always stay as a team. Like be on one of
right. Because we try to do that even with our children. We always like on one.
Because they try to play us. Like if they ask me for something, I say no, they'll go to daddy like, Papa, can I? Like you just heard your mother say no. Don't try to like.
So I feel like you need to do that across the board. You need to be one voice. So yeah. But anyways, guys, this is by far the longest video we have recorded. But yes, if there's any questions you guys want to ask about marriage, even though we've only been married 3.5 years, we're not experts on marriage, but we do know that.
But we're experts on friendship,
right?
And that's like 70% of marriage.
Well, true. I was gonna say that I guess just to be happy, it really is the little things. You know, don't put any unnecessary pressure on yourself or society or religion or culture. You have to set your tone in your marriage. A lot of people kind of like want to show off or just appear happy. That's all you. That's what you want to do. But I feel like happiness radiates. If you're genuinely happy, over time, it would show. Like it's like dust. You can't contain it. So yes, guys, if you guys have any more questions about like anything that we've discussed on Talks with Papa, please ask your questions and we'll gladly answer. Hopefully I'll have to beg Sandra to come again looking this glam. You know. Thank you guys so much.
Talks with Papa.